Alrighty, guys, here we go. This is a very anticipated one. I told you guys I would go get it for you, and here it is. We have Doug Malo with us today. How are you today, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Told me that you told me you were like, I'm ready to go. I was actually in the middle of a jog, but um, was just getting around the corner, so it was a good timing right there. Um, Man, I'll say this before we start. It's been a hell of a week for you, my friend. I've seen from the moment I followed you on Instagram, your followers skyrocket with everything that's going on lately. But I also had said to you, I would like to get to know you a little bit, know some of your backstories, because I know a lot of people have brought up the situation that's been going on with you, and um, it's a terrible thing, and I don't want to start from there. I don't want to start right off the bat with that stuff. So if you would, like, little presentation about yourself, where you're from, and everything.
I'm from Pomona, California. Was an athlete most of my life. Uh, Went to the military after high school. Always been into bodybuilding, and from bodybuilding, I realized I have a thing with my shoulder that doesn't grow the same as the other shoulder because of it. So it's an image-based sport. Got out of that. Got into powerlifting. Was a personal trainer for years, and now I try practice. So again, obviously wrestling. Yeah.
Gotcha. So I've seen that you on some of your Instagram stories that you do the striking a little bit. So how long you been doing the striking for?
My whole life.
Your whole life?
Oh yeah. Well, the first thing I've ever done in the world was martial arts. So
Hey, chat, everybody in the chat. I just want to say this: if you're gonna send any gifts, send it to this man right here. Send it to this man. But yeah, I seen that, and man, I was like, wow. I was like, even though everybody's big about the situation that happened, I was like, wow, you actually got some skill to you. You worked on your striking and stuff. You took it to a level that not a lot of people in the indies really do. So I was interested in your character. I seen you have the tag team and stuff like that. So what's your tag team called?
Epic and Ace, or Ace and Epic, we flip back and forth because the character dynamic is I'm so arrogant that I think I'm in charge of everything, and then he's also in his own way arrogant, but he's very proper. I'm taller, I'm bigger, so I should go first. We when we have other matches, we have a lot of dialogue back and forth. I'll be like, let me handle this big ass over here. I see up your nose and pick your brain. Just spit out trash and have fun.
Right. So you mostly in like the tag team action. Not really a lot of singles runs right now, or you have singles runs in different areas. Uh-oh.
My little brother just called me right now. I also own a shoe company, a startup. I'm in the middle of making a basketball shoe.
I think you might be covering your mic. I can't really hear you right now.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. I own a shoe company called
dude.
Odyssey. Yeah, it's called Odyssey Shoes. Right now, the first prototype's coming out. I've had some samples made. We're going over stuff. It's a performance boot, basically, because I was watching around wrestling. They didn't have anything that I typically needed. So if you look out for that, this is going to be a love project of mine going.
Absolutely. Definitely send me that on like Instagram or something like that. I'd like to look into that. It's not.
When I have everything, like when I have the first hard sample that is good to go that I could wear and jack up and ready to go, because I don't want to put something out there and be able to hype around something that I'm not sure of yet.
Right, I understand.
Yeah, they spent so much money on it, but that's not an excuse to go and pump something out to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, I understand. So like, I'm not really familiar. So you're in California, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm not really familiar with the area. So like I didn't know really much about Knox County until this whole or the Knox Pro till the whole situation. Never knew really about them being WWE ID'd and stuff like that. They have the whole program there. What other promotions do you know you usually go to? Like you got something coming up this weekend or anything like that that you know? Um,
Uh, I might go this Friday or tonight. Depends on what time I get out of doing what I'm doing.
so
I was
you're
gonna,
still going to Knox?
no. I was gonna go to a House of Lucha and go to a show there. I wasn't
Ooh.
gonna perform because I still have stitches coming out, um, and I haven't been able to really train because of my elbow. The thing with MMA, people don't realize it's really hard on the tendons. And in that video, when you saw him shoot for the double, I had to scoop and wrench into his body so he couldn't get leverage on me, right?
Mm.
And I already had some injuries to that elbow, just like tissue, soft tissue stuff. So like I haven't been able to work out or do much with my upper body. So I'm not performing anytime. I don't want to, at least for another week. Uh,
That's understandable. I know
yeah,
I seen you had gotten a little scar there too, the
yeah.
stitches.
If
Um,
you the first podcast that I do, the reason I went with them when I dropped the first one and they got me when I was, still fresh, hot. I wasn't coping the right way. I don't typically drink or do anything, and that day I was at the beach, just meandering around trying to process stuff, and that's when I get the podcast. So that's why I was so angry. I went from a level of 1,000 to now calmer. But I do spread catching with them. We have decoys and we catch predators, child predators.
wow.
Yeah.
Um, you know, so I've noticed that that with the podcast lately, like it seemed like you would calm down a little bit more. Like I said, it has been a hell of a week with everything that had happened. Uh, what, I mean, if you want to say anything, like it's okay. Like you could be like, say whatever you want. If no comment, that's fine. You can keep moving on. But like, what are some of the messages you've gotten lately? Like I've seen you've gotten a lot of attention to your Instagrams and stuff like that. So
Mostly positive. Um,
mostly positive. That's
yeah, because I've done quite a few interviews. I got a lot of people saying, "Oh, he just wants clout." He wants all kinds of stuff. And ow, sorry, I moved to my bed because my grandma's coming in the house. Uh, so the amount of attention we've gotten is good, but the whole cloud stuff gets on my nerves because, as you can tell, in order to do an interview with me, I asked to put out Stu's GoFundMe. I asked for a small donation to Stu's GoFundMe, and that's why I've done so many interviews because you can't leave any rock unturned, no stone unturned. When it comes to you know somebody you care about, you want to make sure they're taken care of, and that's why I do that. But mostly everything's been super inspirational, very positive, and even people noticing that they they watch my moods during the videos, and people have been, I've had therapists reach out to me, talking about needing to get help and stuff like that, going over how I'm feeling. Really crazy, and then because I see so many people making an effort to reach out to me, I literally try to get in my messages and say thank you to everybody for their time and their efforts because
absolutely
like that they they showed they showed that they cared enough to do that. So like I try to respond, but it's overwhelming. But I'm going to keep trying anyways. It's who I am. I'm kind of neurotic. Just open it up and keep going.
right. I was actually just saying the other day when I seen on your story you had took a photo with a guy, and he's actually a friend of mine here on TikTok. His name is Jay Cal from the Alliance blog. Took a photo with you, and I guess he had some words with you just a couple days ago. I was like, man, the wrestling community is so small sometimes. Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy how it connects like that. But,
And I was at Hollywood Championship Wrestling.
okay.
Yeah, which is funny because I was with the heel that night. So all these people who knew about the incident are seeing me, and they're like, "Oh, he's with the heel." you know. And then I'm talking shit to people in the crowd, and that was funny to me because it's like I'm a babyface typically as a wrestler. I'm a
Hmm.
babyface as a person, but like if I'm playing a heel, I'm playing a heel. So it made it so much fun.
Right. What do you like playing more? You like the baby face or the heel?
I'm always like a heel face.
Heel face.
Yeah,
Still
like
like a little bit tweener. Okay, I gotcha.
Knox knew better than to give me a microphone. I'm an attention whore and I'm funny. So, if I start and I start getting the crowd going, like, I could, I don't know, I have too much fun, doing my character stuff. Cause my character's not really a character. It's just me. You know what I mean? But it's like whatever mood I'm in, like I can get there, you know,
Right.
for
Um.
instance, Deadpool.
So,
Oh,
like, what do you like? What do you like to put in your moveset? Like, what's in your moveset? I've seen you got that suplex where you hold people up for a little bit of time, show off your strength and stuff like that. What else you got in your moveset there?
running power slams, something I like to do. A lot of hold squeeze, but if I have somebody, like if I pick somebody up and I'm doing like a lower back squeeze, I'll pop them into a power slam. Um, TKO is my finish or the razor's edge. Um, Kicks and strikes because of my martial arts background.
Right.
Um,
You like a little bit of strong style. So you say you
yeah,
have a strong style, do you?
I always try to brawl because it's easier to not easier, but like it makes a match flow better when we
Hmm.
can brawl around and we can get some stuff. Like I have a thing I call Potato City, which is pretty damn popular. And you know what a potato is in wrestling?
Mm.
So if I hit somebody a little stiff, we call that, oh, you potatoed me, right?
Right.
So my buddy's a pro boxer, and if we get into the ring with each other, we've done it at multiple events. We just potato the hell out of each other and stand and trade punches in the middle. But what people don't realize is we're giggling, laughing the whole time in there. And then sometimes like a low blow hits me in the crotch or something like that, and then I'm laughing and running away somewhere. Like that's some of the stuff I like to do is exchange. Other than that, I do a rough rider, but I do a leapfrog from behind, and I'll come over the top of people. I got a big vertical, so it doesn't matter if somebody's like 6'8", I can get up there as long as they can take a face bump. Yeah, it's just simple stuff. I don't like to do too much. Do some nice splashes. I don't know. I'm all over.
Yeah, I think I've noticed when I finally started to get into the business that like you don't have to do too much. Less is better. Like I finally understood that term when I finally got into the business, so I understand what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
don't try to do too much. Like, just do enough that people look at it and are like, wow, that was fantastic.
yeah. I take a few holds, a few things here and there. Sometimes I do something new because that's not something I want to do. But for the most part, it's what's available with the other person based on their size, based on their weight, their athleticism. So like that's important to me is making sure that everything's coherent because if I just go out there and I'm like, I got to get my stuff in, you know what I mean? Then it's like, all right,
Right.
this is an unworkable situation for the other person. I'm not going to apply that pressure on them. Like then their energy is going to be bad. They're not going to be fun. And then next thing you know, we're not going to be working for the crowd. We're going to be working in a pissing contest against each other.
Right. Right. Right.
Like the
Yeah.
crowd is everything. Like if I'm working with somebody like you and you're like, hey, I got this really cool move, and I'm like, cool. How can we set it up? Like that would be my thing. You know what I mean? Like if it makes sense, right, for like the size of this or that story, then it's like, let's go for it. But if it's like somebody mighty who's like 5'2" and he's like, all right, I'm gonna punch you and I need you to bump right off the back, and then from there I'm gonna pick you up, let's throw you to the corner, and like you got me running around like like 170 pounds heavier than me.
Right. So,
Yeah,
what are your goals, man? Like, I know some people, they'll say, obviously, like, I want to go to the WWE. Some other people have like a little smaller goals before they want to try to reach the WWE. So, what are some of your goals that you want to achieve here in the next couple of years or so?
uh, just get better and learn to work with more people. Honestly, like it's so fun, and I'm a
Hmm.
people person, and like I want to learn more about like what I can do to get the crowd involved. You know what I mean? Like How
Yeah.
even pick up a dead crowd. I haven't really had a dead crowd since I started. You know, like
Hmm.
I want to run into that scenario and be like, I wonder if I can bring them back. Like, or give this
Yeah,
guy.
absolutely.
I guess I don't know. Like those are my goals. Like I just want to get better at what I'm doing, and then for me lately, I've had this new path. I got a war path. When I first started wrestling, I was like 280 pounds, 285 pounds, good shape, but not for wrestling. You
Mm,
know, so I've had to get in wrestling shape, and I'm still on that war path because I want to be able to do a 40-minute match and not be so blown up.
right.
I think my last match I did was like 25 plus minutes.
Right. I think the longest match I've seen out here is probably a 30-minute match. Uh, I don't know how it is out there. I'm sure it's probably somewhat similar, but I know there's probably some different things out there as well. I'm all the way out here in Ohio, so
I'd have to work with somebody who could fly. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Because if I'm running around for 30 minutes, people aren't going to have much left of me by the end of the show. They're like, hey, stand up and get up on the top rope. I'm like, I'm going to
Yeah,
lay
right.
here. Go get the stretcher, bud. I'm done.
But, man, I like that answer though. That's an answer I actually get quite frequently too. Is like I just want to get better, and like that. That's what sometimes what I feel separates like the amateurs from pros, like legit pros. So I honestly think that one day you're actually going to go pro, man. Even though things are happening and people are just starting to see who you are. Um, what you did was a good thing, right? Um, I don't want to get into that right now. Uh, like I had said, I want to keep talking about you. So, like, what do you come out to? That's one thing I'm interested in. What's your theme music?
Depends on what I'm working. If I'm with my tag team, so I got a tag team with a 12-year-old little girl and a 7-foot guy named Alex Ace,
Mm,
right? So the little girl's like basically we're like the heralds and she's Galactus. The roles are kind of reversed. Uh, but it's fun to do. It's good crowd work. We come out to 666 from Roddy Christ, and we get it right when it's building up. We have a whole entrance time for the screams, the yells. Everything's choreographed pretty well. And then other than that, I come out to Kaizo Battle Drums. I don't know if you've heard that song. Starts about a minute 12, or I started at about a minute 12, and when the song kicks in, I sprint to the ring.
gotcha.
Yeah,
So you got kind of like when it really drops, like the song really drops, you just kind of cut to that part.
I hit the curtain and I come out running.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha. And so let me clarify this: a 12-year-old worker.
yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, no, she's the best. Her name is Sophia.
We actually got one out here. Like I think he's like 14 or 15. So like that was the youngest I seen out here. 12. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Her dad's a cool dude, like the producer. Super, super great dad. Super good to have him on our side because he helps us with our choreographing, our angles, our shots. You know, it's just
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys got some really good setups from what I seen. Like even the one video I seen at Knox Pro, I was like, they got a really nice setup compared to like some of the stuff that we have out here. Like, you guys got a little bit more light setup than what we have out here. It kind of sucks, but at the same time, I'm like, that's really cool. I mean, like seeing the difference between like states far away. I was like, wow. I was like, there's some things that you guys got. I was like, I wish we kind of had, but
yeah, no, we're spoiled. I'm not gonna lie. We've always been well taken care of for our shows and stuff like that. The school's a great school. I think what happens is a couple bad apples spoil the bunch. You know what I mean?
mm,
And you may have a solid support cast and a solid cast and crew running business in your first, 15 years. But let's say the last 2 years, you've had the snickle fritz around people, and they started to decay the good leaders. So eventually, that's what I think happened.
right. So, do you have like anything like? So we kind of do out here like every Thursday, like where I train at and everything. We do like shows that are like broadcast on like Facebook or TikTok or something like that. Do you have anything like that out there that you can go like attend?
No,
No. Oh,
Hollywood Championship Wrestling is the only local TV.
really?
Yeah, so I'll get over to them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Like that would be something fun to do if they had that available, but not out here. California is a weird state, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I kind of want to visit it one day. It would be kind of cool. But
it's hot, it's beautiful, but the way that they have things with entertainment taxes, like it's hard to do things like that because it's hard to own a business in California. So, like,
yeah,
if your business isn't some monster producer of profit, good luck holding your head above water. Like just a room to rent out here, a room is anywhere between like 800 and 1,000.
uh-oh. Think someone called them again.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, I got my phone's non-stop right now.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure your phone's been blowing up all week. It's man. It's
Yeah, it's
been
bad. My brothers have been all over me too. Just because of I have a certain history with. It's unfortunate, but I've had quite a few friends die, and the same days I've seen them. So
right. So I remember just a little bit ago when we first started, you said that you had served. So you want to talk about the experience you had while you were serving?
nah, I mean my experience I had while I served was a cakewalk. I
Really?
blew my knee out, got out, easy time, easy day. Military wasn't for me. I ended up getting into the military because of the trouble I got into in high school. Uh, I was a very rambunctious kid. When your friend group is much older than you, like the closest people to you, and your normal friend group is 5 years older than you, it's going to cause you to grow up a little too fast.
Right. That's understandable.
Yeah, so there's that.
I'm
But
sure it's easy to get in trouble in California sometimes too, because I've noticed I go to different states and sometimes they can crack down on laws a lot worse than other states. Like, um,
yeah,
I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas, but it was like that in Vegas. So I was like, yeah, let me be good.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, they'll get you out there for anything. Uh, but like my past is all over my body. Like the tattoo on my neck and my head, that's all from my best friend Abraham. That's actually why I started wrestling.
Absolutely.
We always joked around and said, we'll have a tag team called the Smash Bros. I didn't really like wrestling at the time, never cared for it. Um, I fell in love with it when I started it, but like that was my best friend in the world. When I was a power lifter, I was a very high level power lifter. Um, and he would be at all my meets. I'd go to his meets, and we just hang out, have fun, drink beers, just be idiots, have too much fun. Yeah, and when he passed, that was probably the worst thing that ever happened to me.
And then
Actually, yeah, there's
when he did pass, that was like the moment you were like, maybe I'll actually make this thing a reality, or like
no,
the
no. I
get
got I,
started.
I got spun out and ruined my life and ended up homeless after he passed. I I was really not well. The year before Abe died, my buddy Jeremy died. I saw them both the days they died.
I'm sorry
Well,
to
Abe,
hear that.
I gave him a hug. Then he drove home. He died in his bed, had a seizure and a heart attack.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's
7 years old. He left behind a 7-year-old and a one. Now she's 5. But,
wow.
yeah, crazy.
So when you finally, made that decision, like what transpired you to, decide to be like, okay, now I actually want to try to be a professional wrestler.
Actually, that turd bucket with the cowboy hat lied to me and told me that Rikishi was his uncle, and I should get into wrestling. And the only reason I went there because he works at a gym that's my favorite gym where I started bodybuilding and well, continued my body, but I didn't start it there. But Metroflex Gym, it's a very famous gym in California. But I went to Metroplex. I used to train with Tanya Moore. She's so lovely, so cool. Best trainer I've ever had. Um, So I went to that gym to go see if I could see her, like Liz Frio, and get some type of nostalgia because there was an event that happened that day that was pretty traumatic. There was a truck accident on the freeway going up to Grapevine in California, and the U-Haul hit the back of this fully loaded tractor trailer at a high rate of speed, and it like cut halfway through the engine bay of the truck, like up into the driving cab. And gasoline was pouring everywhere. The truck ended up catching fire. I was trying to rip the door open as the hood was on fire. I couldn't get the door open. Cut the guy's seatbelt off. And I wanted to talk to my mom. I had given my phone. Shit, crazy smoke going everywhere. Then the guy he hit, my truck driver, came and sprayed the flames out. And shortly after that, I saw a service truck, ran down to them, got a crowbar. I ripped the door open with the crowbar with the help of another guy who came running up with me. And then when I turned around until we got the door open, the CHP was right there.
Wow.
The fire department.
Wow.
That was great. I think the only thing funny out of that whole thing is the CHP guy said, "I saw you covered in blood sprinting with a crowbar." And I said, "There's no way he caused this." But he said he was apprehensive at first to like get out of his car. He was like, "I think I have to shoot this guy. I think he's on PCP."
Man, I don't know if I want to come to California now. It's getting a little crazy out there, huh?
It's a car accident, you know. You can't just drive by something where you see somebody in danger and just keep going about your day. At least I can't, you know.
Right.
That's not my MO. But that's how I got into wrestling. I took a shower at my girlfriend's house. I was crying, and I told her that, like, you know, I think I've repented enough in life that God's going to take my life or he's going to re-platform me because I got canceled shortly before that. And she said, "Don't say that." Like, no, it's just how I feel. Like, I feel messed up. This and that. So she's like, "Let's just go to the gym." And she's like, "Let's go to Metroplex," because she knows I love that gym. So we went there, and that's when she asked me if I wanted to be a wrestler. And I was like, "Okay, re-platforming is for me. That's what God wants. That's what I'll do. I'll be a wrestler."
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how that happened.
Okay, and then how long has it been since then? How long have you been wrestling for now?
2.5 years.
2.5 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some of your stuff on your Instagram. It's hard to find things on YouTube right now at the moment. You know, like if I just try to look up like any type of wrestling match for you, yeah, it's not showing up right now at the moment.
No, not Bro doesn't put out anything.
So like I went on your Instagram, you know, watched a couple of things, and I was like, man, some of the things actually did impress me. Like your suplex, you know, there's not a lot of people that can hold people up that long. They can try, but they're dangling in weird ways and stuff like that. They're struggling.
The guy I picked up, he's a stud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people got the goods, and the guy I was wrestling had the goods. He's good.
Absolutely. But man, 2 years. I mean, come a long way for 2 years already. That's for sure.
Well, because there's people there like that are really advanced, right? And then you get thrown in the mix with them. You know, and then I'm an athlete and I try hard, so I pick everything up, and then like I want to do better. So like that's why, you know, Rikishi wasn't even a part of the incident that happened. By the way, like he was away on travel, and he would have never have allowed that. Like not once would he allowed that. But you do a match in front of Rikishi, and he'll see the finish, and you do a traditional match. You get through everything that you know a decent match should have, quotation marks, and they'll be like, "Huh, what the fuck was that?" Like, you could have done this, set up the finish better. You could have had a false here. Like, he'll go through and he goes, "No, I expect better from you." And you're like, no, that hurt. I'm going to go home and think about my actions and come back, and then I'm going to try to impress him. So my constant looking to trying to do something better and different or take his advice and use it better every time I've done a match has helped me get, you know, somewhere farther.
Right. So have you met Rikishi at all?
Yeah, multiple times.
Oh, wow.
It's so intimate to me because, you know, like I don't want to go back into that building because I'm frustrated with the things and the people that are around when he's away. You know, when he's there, it's the greatest experience of your life. He's the greatest coach. You can't beat it. Like, you know, he's brutally honest. Does not care. He will serve you up a hot platter of food in any second. Yeah, we're here now.
So let me ask this. I mean, if you want to say no comment, that's fine. So would you say it's kind of fair to say from like your perspective, what you see, Like, um, days he's not there, it can be a little hectic, ridiculous things happening. But
Yeah,
days he is there, like everybody's straightforward. They're on their shit that day.
yeah. When he shows up, everyone puts on their mask and acts like they're not a piece of shit.
Mm, I've seen that before in promotions already. Like, I'll tell you that right now, I'm green as can be, and I've seen it in promotions already. Um,
Yeah, it's
it's so I understand that. You want to get into this a little bit? You want to get into the whole situation, and
yeah.
would you rather stay off of it?
Is there anything that you want to ask particular? Like, I don't. I think everyone knows the whole situation.
Um, yeah, I don't know if it's particular. I mean, seeing certain angles and stuff like that, I can't give any defense for Raja, straight up. But I'm also, trying to be neutral about it. I'm not, trying to be like, oh, you know, lock everybody up. Like I feel Raja should obviously get some time. They'll probably look at him and determine there's something wrong with him mentally, probably.
I think that's the best case for him is to first be mentally evaluated and get some therapy, and like have a mandatory therapy set up for him, and then go to jail. Because if he just goes to jail, you're gonna feed him to the wolves, and he's not gonna get any better. And I don't wish that on anybody. Like nobody should just go to jail when they're not stable in the brain and not happy in life, and then that's only going to create more animosity, more anger and hate and resentment. Like you can't do that to somebody, Like I think he needs help first, mandatory help, and then I think he should be in jail.
Yeah,
But I don't think he should spend his whole damn life in there. Like I don't think Stu would want that either. So and then whatever Stu wants, I support 100%. Like we don't know yet, but whatever he wants, I back it up.
yeah. So, there has been, things have been going around the community that he's awake now. He is awake now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's still got some injuries to his face. But Stu is Stu. He's tough as nails. He even quipped at my buddy Maverick when he found out the whole thing and said, "Oh, it takes more than that to kill him." Like he's a solid guy. He's a true cowboy. You
That's
know,
good.
like my buddy called it out. He said he's going to get out of this hospital. He's going to walk up, and the first thing he do is going to move people out of the way and get a cigarette. And like that's the nature of his person. He's so simple. He's a good guy. He's got a big heart. And
Right.
some of the things that make me angry about the incident is that the people around Stu that were his real friends, the quote unquote real friends, people that Stu gave a second chance to be at the school and vouch for, a second chance for them to be involved in the promotion side of the shows, uh, let him down and let Roger down. Right? Like you can't just blindly put somebody in a ring that is he only knows how to commit violence because he's trained for violence. You know what I mean? Like MMA is a sport, but it's a violent sport.
Mm,
Wrestling is a sport that's based on entertainment, and it's supposed to be safe, managed violence. But we're not fully committing punches on people. We're not extending all the way through. We're not driving our feet through the floor and popping our hips so that when we're making punches, we're taking heads off.
mm,
It's crazy to me how somebody allowed that to happen. It's crazier to me that somebody gassed them up when they're supposed to be their friend. Like I would never let my friend, who I have proof now that you think is an absolute lunatic, and if you think somebody's a lunatic and you state that you think they're a lunatic, uh, why the hell would you let them go out into the ring and do that? And then two, the guy you think is a lunatic is a trained fighter, and the guy I'm talking about is also trained. You should have been out there to make sure you could stop it.
right.
But he's a coward. Like that's the problem with that. I'm talking about the cowboy hat, the idiot.
Right.
He never once apologized. Not once. He's never made an apology. It's always, I'm the victim. He said to somebody, Raja ruined my life. I can't believe it. Da, da, da. He's a lunatic. And Doug's only saying this because he hates me. Like, yes, I do fucking hate you. I hate you so much because you never apologized. You never took accountability for bringing somebody. You never took accountability for trying to talk the situation down. You only escalated. Of course I hate you. I think you're a terrible person. He's a bully. He bullies everybody. He treats everyone like shit. Every promotion he's ever gone to, he's known as an unsafe worker. He's known as a jerk. Like, this guy can't get 1 ounce of good karma from anybody he's met to. I got messages from people saying he's crying in my husband's phone right now about all of this, but he's never once apologized. He's just playing the victim. I don't like people like that. Like, because those people hurt people.
Wow.
They'll never take accountability for their actions. They'll never be smart enough to own what they're doing, so they'll never change. As soon as they get smacked on the head for doing a bad thing, then they go, "Oh my God, why would you do that? You know, I got a boo-boo now. Why would you do that? Like, bro, you suck. Like, that you needed this so you could rethink your life. But instead of rethinking anything, you're playing the victim. And now there's people suffering because of your stupid behavior.
Right.
You know, your bad choices affected 2 people's lives. Like, Roger could have hurt somebody else and been in jail on his own on some other time. But AJ brought this guy into an environment that he knew could go either way for people. Even with wrestlers, you don't know. But you brought somebody that you thought was a lunatic in a sport where sometimes people do get potato out there for real on purpose and said, let's roll the dice. That's the amount of stupid I can't handle.
Yeah. I went and I actually watched the whole thing like yesterday morning. Like, I watched the whole thing because somebody had reposted it on YouTube. And I seen that, like, you know, even from your first interview, you had said, like, you had no idea what was supposed to be going on. Like, you just kind of got told to go out there from what you said, correct?
Yeah, I don't know what the spot was, like how it's all going down. They said the music's going to cut. And typically, you know, in wrestling, the music cuts.
Mm.
The athletes, well, what's happening, right? They prepare their bodies off the music.
Mm.
The guy was in the ring before the music hit.
Yeah.
He was so anxious to hurt Stu.
Yeah.
You know, when I had walked back when I heard the music, because that was the cue, they said, oh, you'll know when the music hits. Stu's already up in the air being slammed.
Right. So, I kind of want to clarify this for you because, like, the one thing I did see is, like, you know, people like to nitpick, and I understand that some people you just can't change their mind about anything. But, like, some people were trying to say, like, oh, they didn't get in there fast enough. They didn't get in there fast enough. But I seen another angle where, like, somebody had, like, no, they shot it and then they looked over at you and then they looked over again, and I seen it. Like, was it like a just utter shock? Like, you were like, what the fuck is happening right now? Is that what it was before, like, you just came running in there?
Yeah, no, I was in disbelief. I was like, is this really happening right now? I've talked about it multiple times. Like, I looked because I went from the bar to the side of the ring, and then I saw the booker on the side. And I saw him out there, and I'm like, because the punches look like, 2 of them look like they hit the mat, right, on the side of his head. So then I'm like, looking, I'm like, what? And I'm like, fucking looking, I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. You know, like, it got real quick, like, real quick.
And I did see him try to go for the double leg. I see you know, stuffed it a bit, which was, you know, wow, it was a tough, unfortunate thing. Wow, man.
If he would have got my legs, I would have been screwed. Yeah, no, those kids in the front. My dad hit me with a thing.
Right, and we had just discussed, like, you have, you know, your striking background. You said you've been doing that all your life, and you even, like, admitted in one of them, like, this kid punches like a tank.
Yeah, no, he hits hard. Like, he cut my face open in one punch, you know?
Right.
He hit me right on the bone, so it's not hard to do, but still, like, he hits hard. You know, like, you could feel it. I was like, okay. Like, yeah, that angle. You know, what's funny is, to me, I ran into the ring right away, right? And then I saw that video too, and I was like, huh. it was a lot to take in. You have to process it, you know.
Yeah, some people just don't understand. Like, you got to really be in that moment to understand why, like, that utter shock. Like, I've seen things like that happen before with people where they're in utter shock before something happens. Like, you know, and this is something you don't typically see in a professional wrestling ring that actually just actually go down like this. I don't think I've ever think of anything of something like this.
Now
It's
I had family in the audience. I had my friend and her kid. I met the two kids that video that was shot that you were talking about. That was from the dad sitting next to his two sons,
wow.
and they were mortified. The little 12-year-old girl Sophia, she saw the whole thing and was crying. And when she saw me go outside and I came back and I had the blood all over my face, she tried to get out of the car to run back to see if Stu was okay. You know, it was really a messed up scene.
Right.
You know, everybody on the internet's a hero. They're like, I would this, I would that. Like, man, most of the people commenting couldn't get their hand out of a bag of Doritos to save anybody. Like,
Right.
it's yeah, it's just crazy.
It is
Never
crazy.
watched
It's
it.
crazy. It's disgusting. You and I believe you said the other kid was like 17 years old that tried to
Yeah.
stop it as well. You guys saved his life. I mean, like you said, he's a tough man, but you guys more than likely saved his life, which was the most important thing.
And the thing is too, like those people that were in the ring that powdered out and all the other stuff they had, like the workers are your first response when I wasn't involved in the match. The workers are the first response in the ring to that. That's what surprised me.
Yeah, it seemed like no. The one thing that I pulled from the video is like nobody seemed to really understand what was going on.
No,
one of the
I was
questions,
confused.
the referee was one of the ones that everybody was saying like, "What's up with like the referee's not doing nothing?" And I was like, I don't know, like with that, like the referee was just absolutely confused. I mean,
That is unheard of. Like that's the other. So that was my pause. Was the referee right? If he would have asked for help or like waved it, because he tried to wave it off right away. You can see that, right? But like, he's right there. He can hear the punches landing. Like he is the only one with the insight to really know if this is real or not. Like because it is hard to tell. Like I didn't, you see the one punch from the back and then you start moving towards and you're going in, but like that's the thing. The referee like not making an effort at all. That's what gives any type of hesitation, or even anybody in the ring making any movement.
right.
And I think by the time I was tottering in, Elias had already got to him a little bit and was pushed back. Oh.
Yeah, I seen it at one point in time. You guys had like 3-4 people that had to hold him back. It's absolutely insane. Like the boy was definitely enraged.
He was. And like, people, I've been getting so much hate for punching him. And I said, have you ever had to get compliance on somebody that's still actively fighting with everybody? One of the best ways to do it is to knock him absolutely silly.
Yeah, I would basically, he was blacked out. I don't think he was checked out, man. He was out.
Yeah.
He was out for blood in that, basically.
He left the building. He left the building. He wasn't there.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have conversations with him at all beforehand? Did you get introduced to him?
No, I thought he was a bit of a jerk for how he walked by me earlier in the day as he bumped me, but I think that was after the beer can incident, which I didn't know about.
Yeah, I seen that. You could tell from the video too, like you guys were just right behind him, and you guys were like literally going over your match. I seen you guys like do what anybody would do in the locker room. Do this, we'll do this, we'll go into that. Like I seen you guys just working that out, and then the incident was happening behind it. So at that moment, it didn't seem like it was super serious to the point that you had actually get involved with that. So that's
Yeah,
how I kind of knew
that
like
was,
there was nothing going on. Like there was nothing going on that you knew of really. And so like you said on the one interview, you were just like told to go out there and didn't know what the spot was or anything. I
no,
mean,
it was absolute insanity. Um, Sorry, I'm looking for something right now. I got to get my day started.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Understandable.
everything that happened to that was so stupid too. Because I even told the guy who told me to go out there, like, why would you have him do a spot if there was a beer can on his head?
Right.
You know? And then I'm thinking, like, okay, like, oh, they talked it out, they apologized and they made up. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Like, that's the other part. So then it ends up being a very big freaking deal, and the
Right.
rest. It's just, it's so hard because, like I said, like I felt like I didn't act fast enough, and like that's the hard part for me, because I said there was a moment where I'm like, what the fuck, and then I just went, you know.
Absolutely. Well, the most important part about this is, Stu's alive. You're alive. You're well now. No concussions, nothing like that, right?
No,
That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. You did the right thing. I don't think you're at fault at all. Some people try to come up with any little excuse. I don't think you're at fault at all. Um, you know, like you said, promotions. Some people got to be changed out. I understand that completely too. But
right.
I appreciate your time today, dude. That's incredible stuff. It was a great time.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm sorry, just now it's in my head. It's just a terrible fucking thing, and the best thing out of this is just moving forward and trying to get better positive conversations out. Um, because that's the problem with the internet is they take stuff and the information that they know nothing about. They don't know the emotions. Most people haven't even been in real situations, but they have the most to say about them. You know, and in order for healing to be done for even Raja's family, people need to shut the fuck up and like stop trying to sensationalize stuff. Stop casting people as like absolutely evil. Yeah, what he did was evil in the moment, but you can't tell me his whole life he's just been nothing but evil.
No, I don't.
So like,
I wouldn't believe that.
yeah, so like whatever things that whatever he has in his head that's not allowing him to fucking straighten up in the right moments. That's causing him because I have a friend who was a part of arresting him in Newport when he stole his dad's car butt naked, and they had to chase him.
Wow,
Yeah.
I knew that.
So like I didn't know that either. So now knowing that, why the hell would you bring him to our wrestling event?
And I think that I mean, like I said, I had watched the whole thing, even to the fact of when he left. Um, there's definitely something going on mentally.
Yeah.
He's definitely got some depression too. I don't know if he's ever been diagnosed with it, but
It's
definitely some
there.
depression.
It's there. That when he snapped, that's like that was everything that was hurting him inside, and all the things that he's trying to live up to just bubbling out. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
But
absolutely.
I think that he has a propensity to do it again, and I think he will do it again if he doesn't get some help.
Yes, he does need to get help. I do agree with you about that. Absolutely. Lashing out at other people, that's not the way to do it.
Now,
Absolutely.
and like that's why I have some compassion for him, because even though he did that, I know Stu. Um, Stu's not a hateful guy. Stu's one of those guys who'd be like, let's just shake hands and call it a day, you
Right.
know. But uh, when I was younger, I had issues with my anger and temper and stuff like that, and I was a bar bouncer, and there's been times where I've snapped and I've hit people and stuff like that I shouldn't have.
Right. Right.
So like I understand that, like it's the snapping part, not the 23 unanswered punches to an unconscious person. That right there is lunacy, and I've never been that bad. But what I'm saying is like to some extent, I understand what it's like to have mental issues.
Right. So, before we close out, have you had any words with Stu? Is he, have you been able to talk to him, visit him, anything?
He answered my text yesterday, said thank you for everything that I'm doing. I texted him again today because after yesterday's rounds of interviews and stuff, the GoFundMe is at like over 200,000.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, so that's my goal for this is people clout chasing this and that. I'm like, no, my buddy got hurt. I'm still traumatized. A lot of people are still traumatized, and in order to make sure that you know he's okay if he can't work for a prolonged period of time, is to get as much money in there as possible because who knows if he doesn't have long term issues from this.
Right, right. Well, I believe they had said too that he already had PTSD from when he was in war,
He did.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's.
yeah,
I don't understand how some wrestlers do that because there's a couple wrestlers out here that they suffer from PTSD as well, but like the crashes of the mat don't bother them. It's a crazy thing. So
yeah.
it was a good thing for him that helped him out. That was something that helped him escape basically his old past and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's got some other things going on too that concern me that I've heard from his close friends, and like I just love the guy to death, and he's always been sweet to me. We had a moment too at the last show with the guy that I gave the suplex to.
Mm.
Oh, we had a moment just bonding veterans talking, and it was special, and it meant a lot to Oak too. And Oak, we talked about it when it happened. Um, so like, I don't know. I want him to be okay. I want him to thrive. I want him like. You never know how people respond. Like if this were me and this happened to me,
Mm.
right? I don't know how I would respond, but I know I'm an emotional person. So like, who knows, right?
Right.
Like even the day after the incident, I'm sitting there parked under a tree and stuff like that, and like I was depressed, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, man, like what the hell? And I'm like, not in the best frame of mind, like contemplating everything. Just like, do I really want to be doing this?
Mm.
Like there's, I don't know, it's just painful. So like, I know that he's got to go through that still too,
Right.
right? And I don't.
Is it kind of like one of those things like now it's like you got probably 2-3 million people looking at you right now, like for questions and answers, and it's like you don't have all the questions and answers. You're just as confused as everybody else. You're just like a simple man. You're not used to all that attention out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not an expert. You know what I mean? I'm just a dude who
Yeah. Yeah, man. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna let you go on with your day, my man.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time. I did not expect you to actually answer me back right away. I was like, wow. I was like, you actually care about everything that's going on, and that's a great thing. You did it. Great things with Stu. He's alive, thankfully. And
And it's good for content creators of all sizes too. Like there's a lot of good people out there. And if people want to interview and I could help them get more followers or whatever too, like it's a whole process. Like
absolutely.
it's a full circle thing,
Yeah, I try to do this every now and then. It was a consistent thing for a little bit, and then I just kind of made it a casual thing because I ended up getting into training and then started reffing, so it kind of became a casual thing. It's hard because some people don't understand just because somebody's a professional wrestler doesn't mean they don't have a normal day job and everything.
Yeah.
That's
Very true.
one of the things for sure. People always think wrestling 24/7. No, not really. But I appreciate your time. Everybody that came and joined the panel today. It was awesome to see you guys in here. I appreciate anybody that actually helped him get up on the panel. And we will see you guys next time on Talk That Talk. Doug, it was great talking with you, my friend.
Yeah, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. Later.
Bye,